here's something I found quite interesting. And, I want my Law and Order fans to, you know, post your thoughts in the comment section and tell me what you think, because I tend to disagree with part of what this article is saying. But I mean, I like part of it. So let's get into it a little bit here. So according to Radar Online, and also according to some other sources, you have like NBC and whatnot, Chris Meloni is begging Mariska Hargitay to save Law and Order organized crime. Now, to those of you who are diehard fans of, let's say, the original Law and Order and SVU, but you haven't really gotten to organized crime or you weren't really feeling it, and to those of you who may not know, so organized crime, Law and Order organized crime, is a spinoff show of the Law and Order Special Victims Unit, which that in and of itself is a spinoff of the original Law and Order. Organized crime, I believe, is the seventh show in the whole franchise. So it says right here that Chris Meloni believes that his pal, Mariska Hargitay, could help raise the ratings of his Law and Order organized crime. Radar Online has learned. A Benson Stabler reunion is always a fan favorite, and the September 22nd 3-hour crossover didn't disappoint, pulling in over 7 million total viewers. They're totally right on that. That crossover did not disappoint. That was hands down the best crossover of anything that I've seen in a long time. It was everything. They really should have just made that into a movie. But on its own, organized crime stumbles in the ratings, and insiders reveal that Meloni is worried. The fans aren't loving his show, and the poor ratings have got him panicking. The stress is getting to him. That's according to one source. Sources said that Meloni has a plan to save his struggling show. He's called in Mariska Hargitay for backup. He wants Mariska to come in and help save his show, explained an insider. The insider said Hargitay has considered the request. There's nothing Mariska wouldn't do for Chris. She and Chris both agreed that Olivia Benson and Elliot Stabler have unfinished business. That said, she feels it's too early for Chris to be jumping ship. They need to wait and see what happens with organized crime. Now, let me just stop right there for a second. So I don't know. I'm looking at the numbers for the ratings. I don't see them dropping, or I don't see the... So let's see this right here. So let's check this. So I can tell you right now that for this last season, for the last couple seasons of SVU, the ratings per episode on average were between 4 and 5 million. I think the premiere for this season was like 5.47 million, so almost 5.5 million. And that's because that was part of the crossover. And then the rest of the episodes were like 3.9 million and up, so on average like 4.3 to 4.5 million. And that was SVU. So now when I look at organized crime, season 3, most of the numbers are between 4.9 and 7. 7 was also part of that crossover. Now, the last 2 seasons of organized crime, they had ratings that were between 5 and 6 million. Well, now, like I said, you still have at least 5 million people viewing the episodes per night. So it seems like the numbers are approximately the same. So I don't know. I don't see where it's struggling. Now, let me pull up the reviews on Google, for example. And let's see what the Google audience rating is on average. It is... They're not showing it right here. Oh, yeah, they are. So the average rating from the Google audiences is 84%. That's actually good. And that's actually a little bit better than what I thought. What did some people say here? Update. Just finished the first season and holy cow. My body is hurting from sitting at the edge of my seat the whole time. 5 stars for this new format. Can't wait for season 2. Now, this was when season 1 was done. Organized crime is a completely different show format than SVU, and I'm here for it. Its storytelling has an exciting depth that explores the layers of Stabler's personal and working life between maintaining his everyday cop duties, staying present with his kids, and struggling with his wife's death. It speaks to the chaos of life that we can relate to in some way. It also gives Chris Meloni a chance to flex his acting chops. And trust me, you can feel every distraught thought that he has. I also love when our SVU favorites pop in seamlessly without making it feel like they're from a separate universe. The only thing is that there is a slight disconnect between him and his new team, but it makes sense because he just joined the team. I'd be interested to see whether the writers will build on their working relationships or whether Stabler will carry the new show on his back for the entire series. Now, this person posted that right after the first season was done, and now they're in the third season. So they seem to be doing pretty well. And that article was posted November 15th, and today's date is the, Thursday was the 24th, 5th, 6th. Today's the 27th. So I don't know. It seems like it's doing pretty well. But hey, do I agree that, I disagree with the idea of this saying that it has lower ratings compared to some of the other shows, but it's doing just fine. And it has the same audience. Whoever's viewing SVU on Thursday night or more likely viewing Organized Crime that same night. I do agree that because Mariska is hands down one of the most well-liked, if not the most well-liked person who's in the Law and Order franchise, and Olivia Benson's character is pretty much number one. She's right up there with a few people. You have your Stephanie March and Ice-T and those people. But do I think that the ratings would increase if she was in there a little bit more? I can kind of see that. So I don't want people to read this the wrong way. I don't think that this is a bad move. I don't know if just Chris Meloni, I don't know if he's overthinking it, or maybe there's something else there that he's seeing that we're not. But I think it'll be interesting, and I'm curious to see how this season is going to end. I'm still curious to know if they'll confirm officially whether or not Richard Wheatley is dead or alive. If he turns out to be alive somehow, I guarantee you the ratings on that show will easily skyrocket. They are going to increase. Now, and if he doesn't, well, the good news is that at least he's gone, because the guy was a massive criminal in many ways. But I kind of digress on that. So do I think that Mariska could save the show? In a way, yes, she could, because people like Mariska Hargitay, very beloved figure. Character Olivia Benson, one of the best characters on all of television, not just in that franchise. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Let's see. And Mariska said she's interested to take the offer. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see what Organized Crime looks like for the rest of this season.